Hello, everyone, and welcome to B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. That's right, that's who we are. B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us, real talk here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And today, guys, it's all about community speak. You know how we do community speak. This is a great topic you don't want to miss. But who are we? We are B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. Women, we are beautiful, accomplished, and divine. Our gentlemen are brothers, accomplished, and determined. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. That's right, that's who we are, B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We be right back at you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. That's right, that's who we are. B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us, real talk here on Vision and Purpose Media Production. And I must say, this is the first time I am in the house with just all gentlemen. My co-host is usually all women and one gentleman, but I like the reverse tonight. So let me just start out introducing my co-host, and then our guest, my special co-host for today is Cortland Jones. How are you?
I'm well. How you doing, Karen?
Yes, and I got Professor William Mary. How are you?
I am doing as great as I'm doing. You know, the only way I can be doing any better. If I were you.
Oh, thank you. And then we have Dale White. How
Yes,
are you?
I'm doing well today. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, no, thank you, gentlemen, for being here. And it's all about community speaks this week. And everyone on this platform, we all know about that. We give so much to the community. That's a good thing that we do. That's how we met. Most of us, we don't met by us doing great work in the community. And you with that fine camera, I'm just going to go ahead on and put it out
Right,
there.
right.
You know,
Well,
so.
I'm curious about the name of the show, B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us.
Okay.
Is that U.S.?
Well, the U.S. is us.
You're
yeah.
branching out. Though.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
saying you're
yes,
branching out.
yes,
It's not
yes,
just
it is.
local. It's the U.S.
Yes, yes,
Put
it
another
is.
period after that UNS.
Okay.
United States.
Yes,
B.A.A.D.A.S
no.
United States.
Yes, and that's who we are. Yes, yes, because our brothers are accomplished and determined.
Yes.
Yeah, and our women are beautiful and divine. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative.
Yes. It's
Right.
all about the narrative sometimes.
Yes, yes, it is. So we're changing that with community speak, with our community outreach. So we're just gonna dive right on into it and talk about how the effects of community outreach, how it affect our community. And so, Cortland, I'm gonna start with you. What is the importance of community outreach? You know, why is community outreach important to you?
I think about, give a man a fish. So the need to be able to go beyond just helping a person, but empowering them as well.
Yes.
Putting people in a position where they're not only receiving, being blessed, but then at some point they're in a position where they can bless somebody else. Kind of like each one reach one. And as we rise, we lift others up. So I would say that's what initially comes to my mind. Leaving legacy, the next generation, putting them in a position to carry on where we are, what we started, and people who did it for us. I would say that would be the main reason.
Yes, yes. And Professor Williams?
Well, I look at it. I think it is up to us, and we have to give back to the community. See, giving a blessing is your best blessing, and when you're helping the community, it gets no better than that because it gives you growth and definitely gives growth to the community. And it does take a community, a village, to raise a village. And it's up to us. We can't depend on nobody else. There's no one out there stronger than me. And if I can give me to you and build you and grow you, then I'm doing what my purpose is. And see, there's nothing greater on earth than your purpose.
That's
See,
right.
one of the best things that ever happened is two things that ever happened to you is being born and then realizing your purpose of why. And when you do that and you pass it on, all you're doing is for every blessing you give, life owes you. Your spirit owes you, and it always pays its debt.
Okay, all right. That's a nice spin on it. So I'm ready to hear the last spin on that.
Yeah, I'm still tripping on the second spin when he said that life owes you, and I forgot exactly what he just said, but it was interesting that you said that. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But yes, I think if we reach out to the community and if we able to raise the base, if you raise the base up, then the highs aren't really that high, and the lows aren't really low at all if you're raising the base. And that's what
like
community
that.
outreach does for someone. When you can help that community just realize their potential, their purpose, and get after it, you can do a lot of damage.
Yes, I agree. I agree with everything that everyone just said, and that's what it's about. The community outreach is basically being a voice of, and here we like to be a positive voice for our community and allowing our community to have a platform where their voice can be heard. And that's basically what they want. They want a place where their voice can be heard when we are doing these outreach, and that's why we create things that that is a need for the community to do what? To enhance our community and to move our community forward. So, these are just definitely great things. So what does outreach mean to a community? So moving on to the next one, it means everything to a community. So a community look forward to us always creating new avenues for them to continue to grow and to solve their issues. And we have organizations. That's why we create different organizations, different things where we can be able to feed our community the needs of what their issues are. So it's always a great thing when you're taking yourself and being given of yourself to comment on that part. That's how I was raised. My mother always said, in order to receive a blessing, you must first be a blessing.
Fact.
And that's what the true mission in life is really about.
And that's a fact.
Yes. Okay.
And fact and truth are undefeated since the beginning of time.
Okay.
So it's
all
Father
right.
Time.
Okay, all right. I see. You know what? I'm loving this atmosphere. I'm telling you, this is the first, and I'm loving it. Cortland, yeah.
I think for me, when I just look at my life, as a child, being open and curious about drawing and illustration, and today, this is the second day I was at Howard County Community Center, and I was able to now teach youth to do the same thing. I've been an educator for 30 years, so now the skills that I, were blessed to have growing up, now being able to pass them on to a new generation of youth. Like this topic today makes me think of that. Working with youth, one of the things that I taught them is learning how to be a positive contributor, first to yourself, home, and then school, and then community. So the need to be able to evolve as an individual where you can see your self-worth to the point where you're wanting to contribute it to the community, to the world around you. That's what I take away from this discussion.
Yes.
And that's also just chiming on, piggybacking on what he's saying is we have to, as a community, we can do a lot of outreaching and uplifting, but the community has to be accountable for its own actions. And once you start taking accountability for what goes on in your community, that base, that responsibility, that growth, that outreach is a lot easier. Once you take responsibility of it. I have it's a big thing in my community. I live in the Chatworks area down in Brandywine, and my wife and I, if we go walking sometime, we'll carry like a buggy, like a little push cart, and if we see trash, we'll pick it up because trash just unnerves me for some reason. And and it's not a lot of trash, but whatsoever. But it's if you just simply take care of your responsibilities and know your worth and wealth, then picking up trash in your own community actually puts money in your pocket. So that puts that base a little higher.
Yes.
Your property values go up $10,000. If you keep going up $10,000 per year, then you understand why trash should not be tolerated in your community. That's why I say when the community takes responsibility for its own self to be uplifted and to be giving out and helping the whole community rise as one.
Yeah.
That's just a simple way.
Yes, I like that because that is true. You know, here in Prince George's County, we used to have trash day to be twice a week, and now that it went down to once a week, we are just overflowed with trash and dumping, a lot of dumping, and I actually, because on my street, I'm the same way. I just trash. It just feel like it's closing you in, but yeah. So I made up flyers, put it on everyone's door, and I created on our street our own National Cleanup Trash Day.
Excellent.
We did a walk. We did a health walk because my street go in a circle. If you walk it 3 times, you did 2 miles.
Okay.
So I call it our 3K walk and cleanup day. And believe it or not, the neighbors came out.
Excellent.
They really enjoyed me putting this together. So, like you said, we have to be held accountable as well. Cause
for our own uplifting.
Yes, for our own uplifting. Because a lot of time we will sit back. Now, the flip side to that, because we will sit back and we are complaining about it. But what are you doing about it? Because my mom always say, do not just bring up the problem if you're not going to bring a solution. So you did your own solution.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, if it bothers you, then do something about it.
It bothers me.
And so, but you did something
I did something about it.
Yes.
One thing about that, you're talking about doing something about it. I've been activist now for over 50 years. And because I was on the front line, I had a chance to be with all the greats who were out there, leading the path. I wasn't the main speaker, but I was one of the organizers of most of the marches in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. One thing that you got to realize when you're doing for other people, you got to always leave your ego at the door. It's not going to fit your situation. And you were talking about, what they call the broken window syndrome. If a house or apartment has broken windows, then it's not going to benefit you and your community because then people start throwing trash because they see no value in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's what they call a broken window syndrome. People throw trash out, and somebody threw trash, I'm going to throw trash out. Then somebody, I'm going to throw trash out. And that's what you got to fight. Like I said, I've been all across this country as an activist. I am history. I'm not bragging about who I am.
Yeah, you are. But
talk about what I do.
It's okay.
Because look what we did. Karen, look what we did.
Yes.
When we did Community Day in Capitol, we had that.
Over in Capitol Heights.
Yes. Look what we brought together. And what we did. And how many people still remember us from us doing that. Because I could be the person say, I remember when you did the Community Day. Yeah, people appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I'm out and people just always, you're the millionaire guy, or you're this guy, or you're that guy. And that makes you feel good because they remember the good thing, the good that you did.
It's going to motivate them for action also.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's going to remind them. They're going to say, if you can get out there, I can get out there.
Blew me away about 2 months ago. I was at the gym. And he says, I know you. He said, they used to call you Rook. I said, yeah. He says, I watched you when I was 9 years old. You played baseball in Pomorkie. And this guy right now is in his 40s. I'm thinking, man, you recognize and know me when you were 9? He said, my dad used to bring me out to watch you play ball. So you got to realize our youth are watching.
Yeah,
And what we're
eyes is
doing.
always on
And
you.
you think they're not watching. They're watching you.
Yeah.
Because a child is only going to live what we teach them.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the problem that we're having. We aren't teaching them. It's not their fault they're like they are. It's our fault for not teaching them. One of the things I always tell them when I go before children I speak, go sit down with your parents. Go sit down with your grandparents, your great-grandparents, etc. and ask them, tell me your story.
Give them the history. So, Courtland,
That's it.
how do you use your organization to give back to the community? Because I know you have a nonprofit organization and you do so much coaching. You coach as well. So, I'm just going to go around just to ask everyone how they use their talent, their skill set to give back to the community.
Sure. So the Better Place Incorporated, my friend Shauna King and I are co-founders of the organization. Currently, our focus is on identifying youth who want to write so we can help them publish. So we do have one middle schooler. She just transitioned into middle school. Her book will be coming out this year. And through my own personal business, that's something I do as well through my coaching. But we have also served in the community to help do tutoring, peer tutoring, where we actually teach the youth to tutor their peers. So we call it Guardians of Greenbelt because that's where it started. So the empowerment piece is putting the youth in a position where they can actually be positive contributors to the community because they earn student service hours while also helping their peers. So those are the two main ways currently our organization has been serving the community.
And serving well, and I'm working with a lot of your youth and young, which are now young professionals, and I am learning so much from them. That's the thing too. As we pass the baton, we got to realize that we still can learn from passing it. Who we pass the baton to, they now going to feed into our spirit. So, Mr. Cameraman, yourself, I'm going to just go ahead on, and that's what attracted me to you. So. I know by you being behind them lens, you have seen so much of our community. So just
Absolutely.
give us your spiel.
Absolutely. I've been in the business 41 years in TV or motion picture production. And I've been here in the D.C. area, DMV, for 23 years of that. So I'm able to really reach out to the youth. And how I kind of reach out to the youth is to encourage them to like you said, look behind that camera lens, and everyone has a story to tell. So I'm going to hopefully give you techniques and have you be motivated with the young lady you were saying that's in 7th grade with a book. If she can write that, then it can be seen on TV or a motion picture. It can be told in a story. So tell that story in a small documentary, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes of just getting behind the camera. It can be rough, it can be raw, and and with time it'll smooth out a little bit, but you have a story to tell. You have you have a unique ability to tell your particular story that's going to relate and is going to connect with other people. So that's one of the ways that I give. I'm in a Greek organization. I'm Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So we give back that way also through that general organization as far as education and mentoring and all that stuff. But for my profession, it's most definitely teaching youth how to use a camera, still camera and video camera if you can, to tell your story, to see your particular viewpoint. That's very important because everyone has a story to tell. Everyone.
Yes. Everyone has a story to tell. I like that. So, and guys, as we go into our first commercial break, what are real quickly, just some good tips that we can give someone. I like to because like we said, these nonprofits, organization, or just different services that we give. When the question I get all the time is, where do I start? How do I get started? What is the need of the community? So my tips, I would say, listen. That's first of all, listen. If you listen, they will tell you.
Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, so listen, just go into the community, because as you were saying, when we did Capitol Heights, we actually went in the community and asked them, communicate with them and find out what their needs are. So these are some great tips that I always want to do when I'm doing a community. And you know what? The main important thing, they always say they hate when somebody come in their community, do this thing, and then
They're
they're
gone.
gone. So keep in touch, make the connection, and follow up. Just don't come to them, give them something, give them high hopes for a minute, and then you disappear. It's got to be a continual building a relationship with that community that you are now establishing yourself in. What is your tips?
One of the things that I shared, and I'll just give one, learning how to be clear about what your vision and mission is as far as how you want to help and support community. So as you hear other people talking, when you understand that there are others who kind of share like-minded, initiatives, then you can partner and network, especially when your goal or your vision it requires more than you to accomplish what it is that you have on your heart. So that's one tip I've shared recently with one of my mentees.
We caught you fumbling over there. What you fumbling about?
The phone off.
I know. Yes. One good tip you can give us.
I always say, it is always a us thing. It's never a we thing. We is selfish. And when it's an us thing, you have a better chance of succeeding.
You said me is selfish. You got to be a we and the us.
It's always a we thing.
Okay, being the us. No me.
Yeah,
I got
and you mentioned something about passing the baton. I'll never pass my baton. I'll help you build yours. Because that's what my mentors did for me. See, I like I said, I've been out there as an active over 50 years. I'm a 46-year entrepreneur. I didn't take their baton. They mentored me, and now I'm an elder. So I'm mentoring because I have interns.
But in a way, isn't that passing the baton? If they mentoring you, they gave you the nuggets, and that's what we saying about passing the baton. But you know what? On that, we're gonna take this first commercial break, and we're gonna get back to that, and then I'm gonna hear what your tips are. So you're here to hear first. Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We be right back at you here on B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us.
It is key that you mind your mental health.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing this week? Hi.
Use the 5 keys to mental movement.
This week has been a really monumental week for me. I realized that I was not being myself.
Reaching out.
Be positive attitude person self, like you guys know me to be.
Staying upbeat.
And get back to that happy, cheery self you guys of me.
This week's been kind of
Being
stressful
creative.
all of the workload that we have on online learning. So I've been trying to use different platforms and different websites to help ease my mind and ease my stress.
And what about you, Marjorie?
Well, you guys know me. I just love to work with others and serve them.
Serving others.
Is that when I serve others, my mind is off of myself.
That's right. And don't forget, self-care is key.
Self-care.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Right.
Bye.
Your mind matters.
Welcome back, everyone, to B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. That's right. That's who we are. B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. Real talk here on Vision and Purpose Media Production. And as we was going into commercial break, and we got a challenge here on the table,
Bring it.
Bring
it.
And we was talking about it throughout the break, So I like this, because we're not going to always see eye to eye. So I'm gonna let you finish, what you were saying about this passing the baton thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pass. If I give to you, I don't have one. But if I help you build yours, now both of us got one. It's like they say, if you meet someone, and like I say, and I got $1, and you don't have one. If I give you my $1, you got $1, I'm broke. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna pass my baton. I help you build yours, just like my mentors did for me. And now that I'm an elder, I'm not passing my baton, but I'm teaching you what was taught me, and you take it further than I did.
But that is passing the baton.
No, it's
but
not.
you're passing your knowledge on and your wisdom on.
But
to.
that's not going to see. I'm never going to stop.
Okay.
I'm never going to stop educating and teaching. I'm gonna die running my mouth.
And that I know will be true. I will be coming to Professor Williams, and I would say that.
And teaching and educating. I'm a mindologist. The most important thing about your life is your mindset. And that's the hardest thing you got to teach people is about a mindset. The more you change, the more things around you will change. That's mindset.
I got it.
And see, once you start looking at things, and it took me a while to understand when they used to tell me this back when I was younger. Joe Madison is adamant on it. When he says, how's he put it? Oh, it
just slipped up.
My mind's gonna
Well, you know what?
an
That's all right. We want you to pause and hold that thought and let us get some comments in on this. But I want you to give us your tips.
I just want to comment on
Yes.
the professor over there because I was like, oh, okay, well, I got a few comments with that. I understand what you're saying, but two things. You said change is something about change, but there's a philosophy that change is chaos rearranged. That's all it is. And they even wrote a song about, I think it's the Blackbirds. I'm not sure, but I'm going to look that up in my mental encyclopedia. And also want to come back and just say, you're not willing to give up a dollar because you want to keep your dollar and teach someone else. I get that, but an educated person that knows how to make money, he can give up all his wealth, and 3 or 4 days later, he'll be right back at it. And that is powerful right there. So to give voice and to give reason to people, to be a kingmaker is great. Not everybody can be a king, but to be a kingmaker. So my point would be to support. If you don't have an original idea, if you can't really get it off the ground, there's people out there with great ideas. Just give them support. And if that means just basically like, look, I know you're busy with work and other things, but let me make a few phone calls for you. Let me see about this event, kind of help you set it up so you can deliver the message just right. So just being a major support staff, lend help and guidance to people is probably my best way of contributing to having a tidbit or helping with the cause.
And I'm sorry. I know, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to say that because that exactly, just meeting you, I'm just attracted to cameras. So I came up to you, talking to you about your camera. And then the next thing you know, you offered. You offered when you found out that I had a community, I love saying community media company. You was like, well, let me do this for you. Let me do that.
I reached out to a couple of people for
literally,
you.
He pulled out his magazine, say, plug you. I mean, he pulled out his phone, say, plug yourself in here right now. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And there's picking up on vibe. And that is, you are a great support. I mean, literally on the first night, this is what you said you was going to do to support me and in this community.
Yes, and I spread your name and your magazine and what's going on to other people. So you guys can reach out and get in touch with each other. And they're doing great things in the community too. So that's having access to other people that can help things move. Just being a conduit sometimes is probably the best thing you can do. Or you need that done. Or I think I know someone that does that. That's in their arena. So let me get you guys together. You guys work it out. But I at least try to connect you to what you need in your purpose and your drive.
Yes. And that's what we need to do. Like I said, not just go in that community for that moment and say, and what you're saying and what we always say around here in Vision and Purpose is building relationships. That's the only way we're going to continue to grow and move things forward. We got to continue to network and build relationships.
And one of us will become a king.
Yes.
One of us will become a king, kingmaker.
Yes. Well, you are our kingmaker. I'm going to say that.
I don't know about that. I'm just going to contribute to the cause.
But see, that's what make great kingmakers. Is the one who knows to be humble. I would say, I'm sitting among kingmakers right now because your spirit is very humble. You practice a spirit of excellence.
And Professor was telling me about some of the things that he was going through with some of the heavyweights in our society, in our community, that he was associated with the marchers and all that stuff. So he's a kingmaker.
Yeah. That's what I'm sitting among kingmakers.
I did a show for 10 years, over 1,000 shows, and I had to take a hiatus for 3 months, and I'm starting back in September. But it's the fact that I had so many people contact me when I went off the air. It says, "Come on, man, you're giving too much information. You're teaching too much to stop." And so I'm going back.
Good.
So I'm building a community. You know, I'm teaching. I'm educating. I am not a motivational speaker. I am an educator. There's a huge difference. Are you a motivator? No. I'm an educator. Big
But
difference.
you learned that over time.
Over time, well, yeah, at my age now, the age I am now, as long as I've been out there.
Yeah.
You know, because I wasn't always, like I say, I went from being a senior citizen to being an elder. There's a difference in being a senior citizen and a difference in being an elder. You go to your tribes, you go to your ancestors, and they can be old, but they aren't an elder. They're just a senior citizen. And that was a compliment when they gave me the title of elder.
Okay.
That was a great compliment to me.
All right. Okay. So, Cortland, this has really been good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like what you said. Let's just talk about that. Being a kingmaker, right? And Cortland, you're a kingmaker since I'm among men are kingmakers right now. So, and that's one thing as a queen maker.
I was gonna say king and queen. You guys, you say like and queens, but I don't want.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yes. And one thing as a queen maker, we have to, acknowledge that. Especially, I'm just going to keep it real because this is Badass Us. It's about the Black community here. Yes. And especially us in our culture, we as our women, we love to make sure that we are building up our kings. That's what make us queen makers, because we have to know our place and take our roles. Because sometimes I think nowadays in society, because of the opportunities, we forget how to still support our kingmakers and our Black males. Let's just say that, because it is still hard out here in society. It's still the hardest on our Black men.
You don't have to explain to us.
Yes, and you're still being a kingmaker in all this. You're a kingmaker because you stay true to being belief is who you are, spiritually grounded, spiritually bound. So why is that a big part of your process here of being the kingmaker?
I mean, just listening to both of them, I'm reminded both Moses and Nehemiah.
I knew he was gonna bring it. I knew it. I was just waiting on it.
church?
Yeah, I was waiting on it.
They both in the purpose that God had given them. After hearing from God, they went to the community and spoke to the elders. So even though they got the directive, there was something about connecting and communicating with the elders before they went out and exercised their faith to do what God had told them. And so I take that in just listening to them. And Kiara comes to mind because you met Kiara recently.
Yes.
Former client. Last year, she wanted to publish before she graduated from college, and her aunt hired me to coach her. So her book was released yesterday, and I'm doing a writing course. And so I just, I have this group of youth, your target audience. Do you want to come and talk to them about your book? So now teaching her how to get out into the community and network and learn how to talk about what you've done and passing that on to her, kind of like what he's talking about, because I'm still doing it, but I'm also giving I'm empowering them by giving them information on how to do it too. So I can understand what he's saying, but I understand what you're saying also. So those are the two things I take away. The value of, like, if Moses and Nehemiah in their position being directed by God still talked to the elders before they executed their faith, then that means there's something about that conversation with the elders that's important. And then my brother, before he passed, he would always talk about the Good Samaritan, the guy that was on the road.
Yes.
You trying to deal with the world will exhaust you and overwhelm you. But who's on your path that you can teach to fish or invest in and support them?
Yes.
And as we rise, we lift others So that's what I take away from listening to them.
It's raising that base. You
But
raise the base. Everything else is
you
there.
said something that I like to take it a lot larger than that. I don't want to teach you how to fish. I want to teach you how to own the pond.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm just teaching you to fish, that's it. But if I teach you how to own the pond, that means for generations, your family is going to eat.
That's
Your
that,
community is going to eat.
That's that legacy. Yes. It's funny, real quick. I want to piggyback on. Yeah, it's funny when and this is, I don't know how I got this started, but it's probably been 30, 40 years since I've done it. Well, I've been doing it, but every time I go to a restaurant, if you're sitting there and they introduce themselves, more than likely it's 3 out of 4 is usually a female, asking, hey, how you doing? My name is Courtney, and I'm here to take your order. I said, what is it again? It's Courtney. Okay, Courtney. I just want Courtney. That's a nice name. What does it mean? As I'm looking through the menu, I'm setting them up. What does it mean? I don't know. Courtney. You been on this 27 years, 22 years? You never. I'm sure you've been on the phone a lot. You never Googled your name. Like, no, I never. Or they may have a unique name, sound like it's a combination of their father and their mother, or their grandmother, whatever. I'm like, you've never Googled your name. They're like, no, I don't know what it is. I said, how do you spell it? Sometimes I just go in and find it. But I said, you know what? Courtney, your name should represent what you're going to do on this earth. If your parents just named you randomly, you may stumble through life randomly. I don't know, but it means it's a purpose. Why you are named a certain why you have a certain name. If it's a combination of your grandmother and your grandfather, find out what type of people they were and emulate them. Carry on their legacy and things like that. And they were like, I never thought about that. I'm like, well, you should, because you're walking on this earth. And like I'm saying, it amazes me. You never Googled your name, never knew what you stand for. And I just ran to someone recently. I told them that, and she said, I think it's because I think my name is Grace or Elegance. I said, that's what I expect from you for the rest of your life, grace and elegance. There you go. Start off with that.
I love it. I love that.
American names don't have a meaning. If you meet someone from the motherland,
yes,
and they give you their name, like that's why I wear this. I had a naming ceremony, and I was named Kibwe Muata Sanga Bomadele. Well, if you understood the language, you could tell anybody who I am just from my name.
Yes.
American names have no meaning.
They try to sound cute, but it's like, okay.
But only in America, and I'm talking about as a whole. You go to your motherland, talk to the ancestors, talk to your elders, and they will tell you they don't name their children right off when they're born.
The Kardashians don't.
They wait to learn the child's spirit, because the child will name itself from its spirit.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And that's why they don't name their children when they're born. I've had a ceremony over 40 years ago and got my spiritual name.
Isn't it true, and correct me on this, Professor, because I think you hung out with some of his friends, if not him himself, Martin Luther King. Isn't his first name was Michael, and then he changed his name to Martin? His father came back from somewhere and said, I'm going to change your name to Martin. Just think if his name was Michael King, would he have been Martin Luther King? Just on that simple name change.
It gave him a different spiritual mindset.
Yes. Because his
Like
father
I told you, the
named
most
him.
important thing that you have is your mindset. The difference in you being and not being is your mindset. See, I didn't ever know I was going to own an institute. But my knowledge, my education, and my mindset gave me that. I grew into my purpose. But all my life, my spirit has been leading me, and I didn't know it. Your spirit speaks to you several times a day.
Yes, it does.
And most people don't even realize it because they ignored the fact that their spirit speaks to them. They're so used to ignoring it that they don't realize and understand that is there speaking to you.
My spirit spoke to me. I was telling you guys I was going to go get something fast food to eat, but I said, no, go into Shoppers, grab some pears and strawberries. So my spirit spoke to me because Bojangles was sitting right there.
There you go.
Where that fruit at? Whatever. You didn't bring
in
it
the car.
in. She didn't bring it in, Courtland. You didn't bring it in.
Well, I had something for you and forgot and left it at home.
Yeah, see, no, I love the
But
trail mix.
I bought you a bag of trail mix. And I left it
And
sitting
he
on
gonna
the
bring
table.
it on the next show.
I'm gonna bring it because I got it for you, darling.
Yes, yes. So Cortland, this is all great stuff. So
Yeah.
we're gonna skip right here and just say, how can we get involved? Taking all this that we know now, let's talk about more of how we can apply ourselves and get involved, and what is the benefits from our community when we get involved.
I kind of again take what they're saying. What is speaking to you as far as where you want to be impactful? So it wasn't so much name, but once I realized that teaching was a gift,
Yes.
it definitely changed the way I decided to operate as a teacher. And I know in my spirit that is a gift beyond, like I say now on social media, though I retired from the profession, I haven't retired from the mission. So
Nice.
I love that.
being an educator will always be a part of who I am and what I do. It's so what am I passionate about teaching, and who can I teach? So just offering myself to the community, putting myself out there to facilitate workshops. So we have our individual purpose. But then again, when you
Yeah,
start
but
talking
collective.
with people and you begin to realize there are
collective
people who
purpose.
share a like-minded,
Absolutely.
then there's that community purpose where you can, and it could be just as simple as getting involved and supporting. It's not necessarily you being out front. So I do believe it's important to connect with people who share like-minded vision. From the time I published my first book, I've run into so many authors. When I launched my business, I've run into so many entrepreneurs. So my world expanded the more I engaged life and my abilities and my skills. I started meeting people who shared, like even visionaries, people who have a mind for creating and building. I think it's important to have a knowledge of self and awareness of self, but then also I can't be bigger than the vision. So how can I get involved with other people and support where I'm also contributing in that way as well?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So before, as we go into this next commercial, and I just want to just tap into just who you are. Who are you, Professor? Leave us with that. What do you want us to know?
That I can change your life. See, the thing is, I can control your life if I want to, but I want to change your life. Because in order to control you, all I got to do is control two things in your whole existence. That's your education and your diet. As long as you are, like I say, when your mind, that's the reason I can't be a mental slave. When your mind is a weapon, you can never be a slave.
I love it. And
I'm just a simple servant, just trying to be a simple servant. And I think years ago, I think my contribution to mankind is humor and relief. I'm going to say something. People say, you say the damnedest thing sometimes just at the oddest moments, but it just really calmed me down for a moment. Just to get back to what you have to deal with. So I think my contribution, who I am, is someone that you can kind of just enjoy being around, hopefully, and we can laser focus on things together, but we can do it in a fun, exciting, crazy way. Just kind of make you think outside the box. That's all. I just give you different thoughts. That's all.
amen. But the funny, yes, I've been hearing you throwing your one-liners in the whole time. I don't know if y'all heard them, but I've been over here laughing. So yeah, I caught them. So we're gonna come back in our last segment. We have two beautiful ladies in the house, and they're gonna join us, and we're gonna close with this. It's Black Business Month. August is Black Business Month, and we are launching a new business for the community. It's Community and Business Network Exchange, and that's the key word, network exchange. And so I want to just end with us talking about that since it's coming up on Saturday. So stay tuned. We'll be right back at you here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions.
B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us. Yeah, that's
beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right, badass us. Yeah, who are we? We are gentlemen. Are our brothers, accomplished and determined. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you? Yes, welcome back to Badass Us. That's right. That's who we are. Badass Us here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And we usually do our inspirational moment and with Marjorie Militant. So
Okay.
since Marjorie is not here, and yes, we're talking about community speaks and community awareness, community outreach. I always get into, everybody always come to me and say, Karen, every awareness that is, what month this is, what's awareness in this month. So yes, in August is Black Business Month. And I love that, because it is, that's just like having history. Why do Black history only got to be in February? Okay, we live in Black history every day. So, and then one of our people that was here was just made a good little statement about Black business. I like that. So moving forward, we're going to have to talk about that the next time you're here. So, yeah. So, guys, but this is Black Business Month, and we are being intentional with our message. When we launch on Saturday, we are launching CMB Network Exchange, which stands for Community and Business Network Exchange. And these are the collaborative partners. So welcome. So Courtney is a collaborative partner, and we have beautiful Kim here. She's a collaborative partner. And we have beautiful Pamela here as a collaborative partner. So I'm going to go around. What do you all want to say about the launch coming up on Saturday? Outsider, we're so excited. Let me get that part out the way. We're so excited. Okay, so Cortland, since we've been here for a minute, we're going to let the ladies talk. I'm going to
Sure.
start with Kim. So Kim, just let us know, how excited are you about Saturday?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your platform. I'm so blessed and grateful.
Oh,
But I am very excited. I'm so excited. But the biggest thing is that we're able to give back to our community, to serve. I think that God put us on this earth to serve.
Yes.
So I'm just really excited to be a part of it.
Yes. Well, thank you, Pamela.
Thank you again for inviting me as well. And with Saturday, I love for the families to come out and see what resources we have available in the community since COVID had, really taken away a lot of businesses. A lot of people moved away. A lot of people, passed away. But we want them to know that there's still plenty of valuable resources available to our community. And we're right here. Some grassroots and some are seasoned, but do come out, bring all your family, the children as well, so that they can see what's available to them.
Yes. I love that, because and the whole concept came from this, like 6-8 years ago, just wanted to be a resource base for our community. And then since the pandemic, since you brought that up, it really was a need then, because what community got hit the most? Let's just be real. The Black business community got hit the most. We didn't get a chance to take advantage as much as with the PPP that was out and all these great things. So a lot of business went under, and wasn't able to recover. And yes, I always like to state this fact. It's a fact, and that we have to get stronger network, because in our community, statistics show that the dollar value stays in the Asian community 29 days. Okay. In the Jewish community, 19 days. In the white community, 17 days. In the black community, 6 hours. Not even a day. 6 hours. So yes,
Well,
it's real.
We have to do
So,
better.
Cortland, I just want to ask you, as being an entrepreneur and being out here, how can you see us? What do you want to see with community and business network of change? How can we be a positive force for the Black business community?
I think for me personally, it's the appreciation of being invited. That's the first thing. So the fact that someone thinks enough of me to include me in this, recognizing then what I can do to help expand our reach, to gain more exposure, to have a greater impact. Those are the three things I think that come to my mind. Expanding our reach collectively and individually because of the networking, but then the exposure of us as an organization and then the impact that we can have. It kind of makes me think of the time period of, it kind of escapes my mind at the moment, but the Harlem Renaissance. From a business perspective, because the Harlem Renaissance, although business was a part of it, it was mostly about creative self-expression. And when I was first invited to participate, I kind of recalled that time period because that's the potential of what can occur if we harness that mindset that allows us to create the momentum that helps us move forward and bring others along with us in what we're looking to accomplish.
Yes. And we heard the community and we listened. That's what I was saying. You know, one of the things is listen. What is the need that we're going to bring with community and business network exchange? And we are coming with 4 cabinets. And our cabinets are, the first one is business and entrepreneurship. And then, of course, the second is financial planning. And then we are doing health and wellness. And then community outreach. So under each cabinet, we have different things that we're going to target and bring in the expertise under. Like we just want to be a business resource for business entrepreneur, help them be skill set to help them learn how to start their own business, bring in more young professionals to grow, because we got to continue to bridge that gap. So, and then financial planning, we want to be doing estate planning, correcting credit, how to change your credit. So I'm going to go with you and let you speak on that, because the cabinet that you're in is financial planning. So what is it that you're looking forward to bring to the financial planning cabinet?
I'm looking to bring education. I'm an educator by nature, and I just don't believe that, well, it's a known fact that that finance is taught at home, is not taught in our education system. It's not designed for us to get ahead. It's not designed for us to learn about finances. Unfortunately, we just know how to make money and spend money. So we have to change that mindset, and we have to educate ourselves, and then we have to educate, most importantly, like you said, the generation behind us. And finances is, we make money every single day. Why do we not understand how cash flow works? And that is key. We need to understand how your money's coming in and how it's flowing out. We need to know how to keep our money. We need to know how to save, tithe, and invest. My main 3 principles. And it's just, finance is not taught in I would say the industrial age education system, and it's done like that by design. So we have got to bring our people together and teach us about how money works, because we make money every day. Every single day, but we don't understand how credit works. We don't understand the importance of leveraging credit, understanding how to use credit cards responsibly, and I can go on and on. But just it's a passion for me. I think I was born with it. One of the gentlemen was just talking about how we're born with certain things or our name. And I was looking at my name. I said, I never looked at my name. Let me look it up. And it says Chief Warrior Ruler. And I was just like, okay, that's me. That's me.
Oh, yes. And
so,
you are.
Yes. And I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yes. And you know what? And this is why this piece, I think financial planning is going to be so important. That way we can educate our community and just build off of that. And hopefully, eventually, our dollar will last more than 6 hours in our own community.
And that's
that
key.
means
that's
it
key.
touch just what you just said. It touch our hands and then it go right out.
Because we don't understand it, and we don't understand the value that we bring and what we have, and it needs to circulate more. We need to grow, and we need to grow together. Because the only one people that can really help us is us.
Yes, I like it. And Pamela, your cabinet is health and wellness. So what do you want to bring to that?
Well, I want to bring health and wellness from a spiritual and more so from a mindset point. Because I remember moving to Prince George's County almost 30-something years ago. And I was out of the country traveling, and I met somebody who knew that Prince George's was one of the richest black communities in the United States. I want to bring that back to our community with health and wellness, knowing how to keep your mind, body, spirit, all of that in alignment with our values, what we were created to be.
Amen.
And my name means all honey, and everything that I flow out of my mouth is sweet because it's from the Creator. And I want others in this county. We have our politics has changed tremendously from 15, 20 years ago, and we're getting a lot of African Americans in leadership. And I want to bring health and wellness to our children. I work with the elementary population because you get them from the womb to the crib, that early age, to where they can learn how to master their well-being from early, that by the time they get to the middle school and high school, it's already in place. So that's what I want to bring is resources and education to how you can do that and keep it here so that our dollar will last as many hours and days as it's supposed to in our community. Then we can see the richness that we are.
Yeah, so this is going to be an extended play tonight. I know we usually wrap up, but this has been good. We're going to extend it a little longer. So, and then Cortland, I want to say, you're going to be in one of the cabinets as well. So, what is it that you want to bring to the cabinet?
Just my growing, I see myself as evolving. I feel like I'm still growing in who I am and what I'm becoming. I'm excited about this season of my life because I just retired as an educator. So I'm really looking forward to being able to expand myself as an entrepreneur, as an author. But being a part of this organization, I'm excited about the potential of being able to share a message with the community that involves empowerment, helping our youth, because that is one of my passions, working with youth. So being able to enrich their lives through education as it relates to business and entrepreneurship. I have a few former clients and former students where I feel like I'm modeling that for them. But I also have 2 children, my son and my daughter. And we just had a conversation about money within the last week, as well as health and wellness. Taking care of your physical body. So I'm grateful that at this point in my life, I'm able to model for my own 2 children, both the 9 to 5, as well as being an entrepreneur. And so my daughter's already saying she wants to retire by 40.
Yes. And she can.
Yes. And my main thing to her is you never think you're out of options.
That's right.
So there's this ongoing need to instruct and educate and inform and enlighten. And because I know that educator part of me is inside of me and it's continuing to grow, the goal is to want to pass that on and share that with as many as possible.
Yes. And I usually don't bring my phone on the set, But see, this nothing, and we always talk about the will of God. This was nothing but God. And my phone was on the set for I can Google my name because everybody gonna be up here talking about what they name me, and I don't know what my name means. So I was able to Google my name. I know you love this, right, Dale? This one is for you, Dale. So I Googled my name, and my name is it said that we are independent and respectable, and I will say if
You are
if
respectable.
yes,
You are.
and it's so fitting, and it also the last one is mystique, you know. Yeah, so I tell everybody that I'm so unorthodox, and I can see that part of me being that mystery, you know, the bringing that mystery, as they say, mystery, mystique. So yes, I thank you, thank you. And there I know. So you know, Courtland gonna be googling, taking my phone googling in a minute. So yeah, so this is great, and guys, we always use a unique way, and even if living up to that by having this media company here, Vision and Purpose, you know, I always say we have to see our vision and then go live the purpose, you know, because God give us all vision and he give us all the purpose, you know, and greatness is in all of us, and that's where our greatness lies, is in your purpose and this gift and skill set that he give us. That's everybody have greatness in them. So, and this is, and coming together collectively, guys, and launching this new networking, the best new thing, the finest new networking group. All right, with different results. We coming this Saturday. So let's tell everyone how they can get in touch with us. If you want to come out on Saturday, all you have to do is come to 1441 McCommett Drive, and that's Upper Marlboro, Maryland, or Largo, Maryland. And we will be at Suite 1030. That's around the back of the building. Again, 1441 McCommett Drive, and that's Upper Marlboro or Largo, Maryland. And we will be at Suite 1030, and that is going to be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I love you guys. And I'm going to go around one more thing. What's the last thing you want to say in getting ready for Saturday? I'm going to start with Kim. And I'm just messing with Kim. This is an inside joke because, guys, Kim said, I'm just putting it out there. Kim is very shy, and she's the quiet one. I won't say shy. I'm going to stop saying that word. Kim is very soft-spoken, and she's the person behind the scene, and she will grind it out for you. But she don't want to. She don't have to have the accolades. She do it because this is what she wants to do. So, Kim, thank you for coming in front of the camera and giving us. And, girl, you gave us some nuggets. I want you to know. So, yes. So, I'm going to go around. And I'm starting with you first. What's the last thing you wanted to leave us with?
I just want to piggyback on what he said earlier, and that is legacy. Everything I do is about legacy, and it's for my daughter. I've been blessed to retire at the age of 45, which was 5 years ago. And everything that we do, especially for our community, is we need to educate them. Education is key, and giving back is key. And it's not an old cliche to say if you can believe you can achieve it, but you truly can. And I think everything that we do is a mindset. And what I say as my motto for finances, if you can shift your mind, you can shift your pockets. If you can shift your mind, you can shift your pockets.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you. I like that. She gonna leave it right there. Yes. Drop the mic. Okay. Yes. All right, Pamela.
I am going to simply say, reign in the change. Okay. Come out and don't miss your opportunity to be in before 19 brand new businesses that are here to serve and bring it to the community and leave it here longer than 6 hours.
Yes. All right. Yes. I love that. Drop the mic again. So, Courtland.
Look, I got to follow that.
Yeah. You always do. And I know you will.
So what comes to my mind is something that has been ministered to me lately. You were meant to walk on water without doubting.
Amen.
We know who did that for Jesus. Right. Okay. Come on, Jesus. Bring it up in the house.
I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm understanding what God wants, and that's that simplicity, that simple faith, the trust, and
Amen.
surrender that allows Him to do the greater thing.
Yes.
So I say put your faith to work so you can let grace work on your behalf.
Yes.
But that's my thing. You know, you were meant to walk on water without doubting.
I like that.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Drop both mics.
Yeah. Faith without works.
Yes, is dead.
And that's what I say about the community. It's time to do something. It's time to, what was is past. Let's be what we're supposed to be, walk in our faith, and bring and leave it here for our community. And that's what we owe each other.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, you heard it here first on B.A.A.D.A.S.S Us here on Vision and Purpose Media Production. And you know what I say, continue to see the vision for you can live the live the purpose. Until next time, God bless. And good night.